What is up, guys? We are back. We are live. It is UFC 265 main event. You know what it is. Ciryl Gane taking on Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis for the interim UFC Heavyweight Championship. Sniper with you guys. Gonna do a free fight breakdown for the main event for UFC 265. Get all of my content is at MMA Play 365. Go to the link in the description. MMA Play 365. Everything for the card is $5 or $10 for the month, which is usually 4 cards a month. Obviously, we do a full fight breakdown in the cheat sheet, and then a podcast where we build lineups, talk about every fight briefly to get you ready to make some money for the slate. So now that I've done the intro, if you've never seen my content before, I like to keep things short. I personally don't know how some people listen to all these hour and a half podcasts. I like to be short, to the point. Yeah, there was a little bit of an intro, but that's just generally my style. The podcast each week are about 30 minutes. We talk about each fight, we build some lineups, talk about exposures, and in and out making some money. So the free fight breakdown is, as I mentioned, Ciryl Gane and Derrick Lewis. Let's take a look over at some of the base information from the cheat sheet. We got our salaries. It is on DraftKings. Gane is the most expensive on the card. Derrick Lewis is the cheapest, 9,468. FanDuel always prices up main event fighters. So Derrick Lewis, $17. Not good value there for the odds, quite frankly. Um, let's talk about the fight in general, which this week there's not a ton to break down because I think everybody kind of knows the fight breakdown. Ciryl Gane will be winning this fight the whole time, possibly to the end, can get a finish. He's the better striker. He's the better grappler. Um, Derrick Lewis has the freak knockout power, but he's done it against so many different types of people. He's done it against grapplers. He's done it against technical strikers. He's done it, he's done it against everyone. So much like any other Derrick Lewis fight, he's going to be winning, or he's going to be losing unless he finds a knockout blow. I don't like trusting those type of fighters, but Lewis has shown time and time again he's not one to be faded. So the fight breakdown, I'm on the Gane side. I think he wins. I'm having the sneaking suspicion that he's going to use his takedowns and a la, not that he's as good of a wrestler as Daniel Cormier, but kind of control this fight a little bit more and not be willing to deal with that power. If they're on the feet for extended amount of time, he's just in danger. Not that he's going to, I'm sure he's going to lose the fight. He's just in more danger there. I think he's got better cardio. Just it's hard to see where he doesn't have an advantage outside of the freak knockout power. You can say that Lewis has the advantage in the intangibles and that he's going to have the hometown crowd behind him. And he's got more UFC experience. Ciryl Gane is, very green in terms of MMA, despite being, a very good athlete and is shown to be talented. So some of the intangibles are on Lewis's side. That said, fight pick is Gane. He's who I'm going to have way more of. I'm just taking GPP shots on Derrick Lewis. You can see I'm planning between 15 and 25% of Derrick Lewis. I think that'll be probably, I think the ownership's going to fall in that range, obviously. If I had to guess, probably mid to high 20s. It means a name card. He might get a little bit higher. He shouldn't. So I'll probably be a little bit under to Derrick Lewis. Another reason why that gets pushed down, there's a lot of line value on this card. There are fighters priced below the mid-range who are now favorites based on line movement. Again, I talk about more about those spots on the full cheat sheet and the VIP podcast, which you can get again at MMA Play 365. So you don't need as much Lewis because you have just better odds value spots. Before I flip over to FanDuel, just in general, cash games, Gane, I'm going to probably lock him in cash games. He's among the first plays in there. Yeah, does he have a risky floor? Sure. If Lewis finds the knockout real early, that's not usually Lewis's style. I think Gane is pretty safe. I think he wins. I don't want to not have him. Should he put up a big score? I will be playing Gane in cash. It is really not a stack week for me. Again, DraftKings, it gets ruled out because of all the line value. If you don't want to play Gane, you can't fit him, and you want to punt with Lewis, I wouldn't stack. You could play Lewis as a pure punt. Again, I don't love the play, but I have him in my yellow tier. Like it's viable. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing I've seen. It's not something I'm looking to do, and I really don't want to stack. FanDuel, same thing. Gane, MVP candidate. I don't think he's my top MVP, but he's definitely in the running. And on FanDuel, I want for cash games, don't play Derrick Lewis. No thanks. Too expensive. And the plus 300 number, or a little bit less than that, actually. I think it's plus 325 to win inside the distance. But the plus 250-ish number he's at for $17, no thanks. Don't want any of it. Not in cash games. It's too hard to stack on FanDuel anyway. Viable on FanDuel for GPPs, but again, that price for just a knockout shot. If he gets it in the third or fourth round, again, he's not high volume. He could get that knockout, and on FanDuel, not be on the optimal lineup. So I like him even less on FanDuel. So those are my general thoughts for the main event, how to approach it. The quick recap: not stacking cash games. I prefer Gane. I prefer him pretty much everywhere. Lewis more viable on DK. FanDuel, no thanks. Don't want much, if any. So that's what I got for the UFC 265 free fight breakdown. You have any questions? I have a Discord channel. Again, that's also an MMA play 365. Always welcome, willing to listen to you guys talk about fights, anything DFS strategy. On Twitter, follow me at SniperDFS. I think that's my Twitter handle these days. I have to make sure. I changed it at one point. It's Sniper_DFS. I knew when I said it, it didn't sound right. So again, you got anything like that, guys? Questions? Follow me on Twitter. Those of you who are subscribed to MMA Play 365, by the time you're watching this, the full VIP podcast is up. Make sure and check that out. Regardless, VIP, not. Good luck in your contests. I'll see you next time for another free fight breakdown.